That's okay. I'm going to start. Good evening and welcome to the City of Leon Valley City Council special meeting. Today's Monday, February 4th, 2019. It's approximately 8:02 in the evening. And we do have all city council members present. And I just wanted to kind of give the reason why we're having an extra city council meeting this week. If you saw the e-news, Ms. Kinsler put a notice. We have such a huge agenda for tomorrow night. We decided since we're meeting for the workshop, we might as well just add on to this meeting and get some of the work done so that we weren't going to be here tomorrow night, maybe till midnight or 1. We just didn't know. So thank you for your patience and your flexibility in coming in tonight. We greatly appreciate it. And I think this hopefully will keep us up to date. But we only had one meeting in January, so we're kind of making it up. So thank you so much. All right, so agenda item number 2, we have citizens to be heard. Is there anyone in our chambers this evening that would like to address the council? Please come forward and state your name and where you live, and you have up to 5 minutes to speak. Okay, seeing no one, then we'll move to announcements by the mayor and council members. Councilor Edwards, do you have any announcements this evening?
Just thank you for everybody attending the initial meeting and sticking with us for the special city council meeting, and that's about all. Thank you.
Yes, Councilor Rodriguez.
Again, I'm going to reiterate what he said. Thanks, everybody, for coming. And also wanted to thank Eric from the fire department and the fire department for allowing me to participate in the preparations for their tower climb.
Okay, thank you. Councilor Alcacer.
I just wanted to reiterate thanks to Brandon for the presentation from the last the 6 o'clock session and the question and answer period. It was very helpful and informative.
Thank you. I agree. Councilor Martinez.
Thank everybody for being here tonight, and we also had a fantastic town hall meeting that hopefully we gained a lot of knowledge on what the people want.
Very good. Thank you. Councilor Jordan.
Yes, I'd like to thank everyone for coming out tonight. Just reiterate them. It was great to see everyone at the town hall meeting and see the people that we represent and listen to their voices. I'm just grateful to be a city council person at this time. Also like to thank the city staff and the hard work that they do each and every day to make sure that we have the information that we need and that citizens are informed to the best of their knowledge. So thank you very much.
Okay, thank you. Ditto what everybody said. I had my town hall meeting thanks to the staff and to the whole team that put on an excellent town hall meeting. And I look forward to the report from Dr. Romero. So thank you for that. Okay, we do have some second reads on the ordinance and then regular agenda, but Ms. Posley has brought to my attention this evening that we do have 2 residents here this evening on agenda number 5.4 on the Economic Development Advisory Committee, and I was wondering if there were no objections, if we could move that first, if that would be all right, and then we'll go to the office liquidate the sign reimbursement after that, because I know you've been waiting also. That would be okay to move that one? Is there no objection? Okay. So thank you, Ms. Posley, for pointing that out to me. We have Cynthia Flores here. Thank you, Cynthia, and Matt Hody, who also had applied for the EDCD, Economic Development Community Development Advisory Committee. So let me read that one out of turn. Agenda number 5, regular agenda 4. Discussion and possible action on a resolution appointing members to the Economic and Community Development Advisory Committee. And this is a resolution, so we are able to vote tonight. And if you'll go to your packet, you see that we have 3 openings and we have 4 applicants. And I had a suggestion, because I think they're all great citizens, and I'd love for them all to participate. But I was wondering if we could appoint usually we come in the order that we receive them, but there's a fourth one that came in late. Could we possibly have an alternate on that committee? I know we've had some issues with quorums in the past. You have 2 alternates on that committee. Okay, it doesn't say that. So we could have 3 on ED. It just had 3 regular appointments.
Okay, I thought you had 2 alternates.
It doesn't say anything about alternates, and I was asking the council to please consider an alternate position. So,
I don't know if we can we, Sandra, if it's
That
not?
committee was not created with any alternates. It's just the members.
but I mean,
We'd have to amend
yeah,
the,
just amend the
the creed.
resolution, yeah. Because I know you've had a hard time getting quorum present, so why not have an alternate, just in case?
Would you like me to have that on the next agenda and amend the resolution?
That would be fine with me. What's the consensus of my colleagues?
In the meanwhile, I don't mind the, appointing the first 3 that applied and letting the other one not have to reapply, wait till an opening, whether it's an alternate or another opening. And I so move.
I'll second.
Okay, so what I understand the motion to be is we're going to appoint the first 3 applicants, and that is Cynthia Flores, Matt Hody, and Roger Christensen to the 3 openings of the EDCD committee. And then Mr. Olin Yarnell is the 4th, and we would appoint him when we amend the committee to add an alternate at the next meeting. Is that correct?
Yes, just not that, and he doesn't have to reapply.
And he doesn't have to reapply. All right. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? The motion does carry, and I appreciate very much your service to our community. Thank you so much. All right. And thank you, council, for that courtesy. Moving then to agenda number 4, ordinance. We have 1 and 2, and these are both second reads. And Ms. Postle, and we will vote on those. And Ms. Postle, if you'll please read ordinance 4.1.
An ordinance of the City of Leon Valley, Texas, City Council amending the general fund of the City of Leon Valley, Texas municipal budget for fiscal year of 2018-2019 in the amount of $9,691.00 to provide funding for signage reimbursement to office furniture liquidations located at 6838 Bandera Road, Leon Valley, Texas, providing for repeal or severability and savings clauses, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you very much. Ms. Kinsler, is there any update to this agenda item from the last meeting?
Mayor, Council, I do not have any updates. However, the only thing I did want to mention is Peter Marquardt, who is the owner of the property, has been so easy to work with because he understands development and he understands compliance, and so he was very easy to work with. And then his tenant, who owns Office Furniture Liquidations, Eric, I'll butcher your last name. Darmstadter is here.
Yeah,
And he was actually here. He waited for 3 hours and 15 minutes at the last council meeting, and he had a sick child, and so Mayor Riley let him leave. And so I just wanted you to know that he was here and introduce him to you because he is the owner of Office Furniture Liquidations. He also would like to invite you to their ribbon cutting, so I'll introduce him at
Very
this time.
good. Thank you. Eric, if you'll please come to the podium. Thank you.
So y'all are probably used to a lot of compliments at these meetings, and I just wanted to be one of those people. But I've worked with the city now since June of this last year, and this is my 10th business, and I've helped hundreds of companies grow in Bexar County. I'm actually 96 years old,
Okay.
but I wanted to let y'all know that out of the businesses that I've started, et cetera, I can see where if a business owner or a property owner did not care about his tenant, or excuse me, care about the tenants, care about the property, care about the customers that they have, and the employees, that this is the wrong city for them to build a business in. What I mean by that is working with the fire department, the care and effort put forth to make sure everybody's safe is unlike any I've ever seen before. If you want to cut corners where people get killed or hurt, San Antonio is an easier place to do business. And so I commend you all on that because it's very unusual to see.
Very good. Thank you.
So
for that.
we've done as much as we can, and we're doing more. We're going to make the property beautiful as much as possible. So I look forward to it.
Thank you.
Thank
Well,
you.
we're glad that the EDCD,
Oh, I have a grand opening for y'all to come to February 28th from 4 to 8 p.m. 2 bands. Maybe we'll get the police there. We'll be so loud. I'm just kidding. And any
Did you say
enormous-
two bands?
Two bands.
B-A-N-D-S? I thought you said two vans. I thought,
Passing
what's a band?
Strangers, one of the most popular bands from the 80s,
Okay,
90s,
bands,
and
okay.
another one. So, and
That's
a lot
a
of food.
party.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, thank you. And
Sorry.
Two members.
I'm sorry. I'm usually away from the microphone, just in the audience, so I don't know all the people here, but please come.
well, and I'm so glad once we vote tonight that we were able to help you on the sign.
Thank you very much.
You bet.
I
Thank
move
you.
that we approve the budget adjustment to fund the signage reimbursement for 6838 Bandera Road or office furniture liquidations.
I'll
Second.
second, second, third, whichever.
We have a motion by Counselor Alcacer and a second by Counselor Jordan to approve the budget adjustment to fund the signage reimbursement for office furniture liquidators. Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed? The motion does carry. Thank you and welcome to the neighborhood. We appreciate it. Yes, sir. Moving then to agenda item number 4.2. Ms. Pasley, if you'll please read that ordinance.
An ordinance authorizing an amendment to the fiscal year 2018-19 general fund municipal budget to adjust the budget in the amount of $232,302 from photographic traffic control system program and $79,897 from federal forfeiture fund, providing for a repealer, severability, and savings clauses, and providing for an effective date.
Get some notes here. Thank you.
Mayor,
Good evening,
council.
Chief. How are you this
Doing
evening?
good, and you?
I'm great. Thank you. And do you have any additions?
No, ma'am. No
corrections?
changes, no additions,
Can,
nothing.
can I just, I had a question. I'm trying to find my notes. That new position that you're funding,
Yes, ma'am.
what traffic? Oh, hello.
Okay, I lied, because we did put this one in here, because you asked this
I
question.
know, I asked you for that. Yeah,
You
I
asked this
appreciate
question.
that. Thank you. So I have two questions. What does the new position entail? Because it's on the red light camera side.
Yes, ma'am.
Number one. And number two, of all of your patrol officers, I count 18, right? And I'm not counting the reserve office. So how is that divided up during the day? I'm just curious. How many police officers on the average would we have per shift? And there's 3 shifts. Would like to know that.
So, on the first question for the detectives.
Yes, sir.
They're going to
Yes,
handle
sir.
all your traffic-related criminal cases. So if you have a DWI that needs to be filed with the district attorney's office, failure to stop and render aid, driver license invalid, anything that's traffic-related that gets filed will go to that detective. And so even if it was a traffic stop where the other things occur, then that detective will take care of that one.
But that was funded with the red light
It
camera
will be,
tier
yeah.
2 money,
Yes, ma'am.
correct? Okay,
Yes,
just wanted
ma'am.
to be sure. So it's not just red light cameras, it's everything. It's more global.
Yes, ma'am. It's the
Okay,
traffic
good.
safety aspect in
Thank
following
you.
those cases. And right now, we have 3 there under the CID sergeant. It's, the 4th one would be if you approve it today, where the red is.
Okay.
As far as the officers, you end up with anywhere from 3 to 5 officers on duty,
Okay.
including the supervisor.
Okay.
It really depends on, really, actually, during the daytime, you can have as many as 6 or 7 because of the traffic officers out there.
Okay.
So just depends on what issues that they're trying to deal with, the reservists, if they've come into work as well. And when the traffic officers are on, then that's going to bump you up to the 6 or 7 mark.
Okay.
Or higher. It can be even higher than that when the reservists are there.
Okay, very good. Thank you. And I appreciate you doing that.
And those traffic officers-
Yes, with all the new positions, I was just
Yes,
wondering
ma'am.
how it all looked now.
And then with the traffic officers, they can work anywhere. We have them working anywhere from 6 in the morning till midnight, depending on the complaints and the issues that are needing to be addressed. If it's school zones, they'll be coming in at 6 in the morning. If it is something in the evening time, then they'll come in the evening time and address those. We move them around.
Oh, you move them around?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, very good. All right, any other questions for Chief on this particular agenda item? All
Just
right.
a comment, I appreciate your delineation and the full reporting. It was very well put together, and I do appreciate that.
Thank you,
And I
ma'am.
move that we approve it as presented.
Okay.
I'll second.
We have a motion by Counselor Alcacer and a second by Counselor Rodriguez to approve agenda item number 4.2 as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? The motion does carry. Thank you,
Thank you, ma'am.
Chief. Do
Thank you,
appreciate your
Counsel.
help. All right, moving then to agenda item number 5.1, regular agenda. This is a resolution, presentation, discussion, and possible action to consider approval of a resolution resolving to apply for a congestion mitigation and air quality program, CMAQ, reimbursable federal funding program through the Alamo Area Metropolitan Planning Organization, MPO, to construct a hike and bike trail from Bandera Road to Evers Road and pledging a 30% matching grant, or match, not grant. I know. That's what they keep telling us. It's not a grant. It's a reimbursable program. Thank you, Melinda. Good evening and welcome.
Good
Do
evening.
appreciate
Thank
it.
you, Mayor and
Mhm.
Council.
You
This is
bet.
the same presentation that we showed at the town hall
Town hall
meeting.
meeting. Mhm.
And so basically the change, or what you, I guess you did see this at the last one, was the vote from the Hike and
We
Bike
did.
Trail Committee.
Mhm.
We can go back through those pictures later if you'd like to. And so the Hike and Bike Trail Advisory Committee actually met twice to consider these options. And they really liked option 3. However, one of the members of the committee actually lives in that neighborhood behind there. And so she just did a real informal, quick poll before the next meeting that they had. And she got some grumblings from the neighbors about having that trail behind them. And so the committee ended up voting for option 4. Now, when we got to the town hall meeting, most of the people at the town hall liked option number 3. And as you
Right.
remember, that's the one that goes through the break, the fire break in the back of the property. So,
You know, Melinda, just my experience with these trails, because we have a trail behind Stirrup, and when all the neighbors were like, and it's turned out just fine. And same with Pavona, we had some concerns, and once it's in there, it's just fine. And it's really, as I understand, it's a safety. It improves your safety to have a trail near or by your home, is what I've always.
And I had 2, at my table, there were 2 people that lived just in front of it, and they both supported it. They said they would, they want to see the plans, but they were both in support, so.
I also thought that one of the reasons that one was the higher vote getter was because, A, it's going to be cheaper because you're not going to go across the creek, and then B, you're not going through the natural area, you're skirting it, and that was a big issue many years ago.
The
So
least
that's why
intrusive.
the least intrusive, that's right, and I think we need to listen to the citizens personally. So, yes, sir.
Yes,
Counselor.
at my table, that was the kind of the consensus also, is less intrusive, option 3. And so a lot of people, several people at the table were in favor of that.
So, anyone else? Okay, so would that be the option then, that we would develop the
Yes,
grant
ma'am.
around then? Okay, very good. And I was going to ask you, we don't know how much this is going to cost, right?
it'd be just over $1 million.
Just over, it'll be a little bit less than the other 2 because we don't have to go across.
It's
And
shorter,
then
too.
from what fund will we don't have to put up any money unless we get the grant.
Correct.
The reimbursable
Correct.
program.
This is just to apply
This is just to
for.
apply, that's right. And then we can ask those other questions later.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
So that's what we're doing today, is approving a resolution to apply.
That has to go in the packet.
Yes. Now, do keep in mind, though, if this project is chosen, one of the things that goes with this grant application is a letter saying we commit to this. And so even though it's not money putting into it, if we get the grant, you have committed to spending that money. So
Oh, absolutely.
Yes,
Oh,
and don't we have to designate a year, right?
I believe they designate the year. I don't think we do.
Really?
I can find out for you.
Yeah, you're going to the meeting on February 21st, right? Okay, so I thought you had to actually
Pick a year.
designate what year you wanted that funding to be for, because we have 60 million, 20 million the first year, 20 million the second year, and 20 million the third year, so.
It would be nice if we would pick, we don't own the property down here off of El Verde yet, and so once we get that, we can start that trail. So you're looking at a year from May possibly before they deed that property to us.
Mhm.
And then it's going to take a good 8 months to get the plans together and all that good stuff.
Flip it.
So if we did it in that next year, we could build it all at one time with both of those
Oh,
grants.
that's a good idea.
And that saves money in mobilization, saves money in insurance, it just saves money.
That's a great idea. I love it. That's good. Yes, sir. Counselor Jordan.
So basically, since we have to write a letter of intent, if we are approved, where does the money come from?
Probably general fund.
General fund.
On the general fund?
Yeah. But I think, I mean, that's why we have it, to make
Well,
this quality
30%
of life.
$1 million, 30% of $1 million.
Plus the
Plus-
engineering
Plus
cost.
the
Plus engineering costs. And what about environmental?
That goes along with the
Goes-
whole thing.
With the engineering? Okay, very good. All right, very good.
I move that we approve the resolution to apply for a congestion mitigation and air quality control program, reimbursable federal funding program through the Alamo Area Metropolitan Planning Organization to construct a hike and bike trail from Bandera Road to Evers Road, and pledging a 30% matching fund with the consideration of option 3.
Second.
Thank you. All right, we have a motion by Counselor Alcacer and a second by Counselor Edwards to approve Agenda 5.1 as presented. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Yes. I'm sorry, did you want to add something? You may. Go right ahead. I'm so sorry, I didn't look up. I was just so excited that we added the option. Thank you. That was a good one. But we want to hear what you have to say, Mr.
Larry
Prophet, for
Prophet, I
sure.
live on Russo. I'm worried that we swapped that number. This
That we
was
what?
number 4 in the presentation. Number 3 is what we voted for. This is the drawing for 4, if I'm not mistaken.
That
It's
was
the
always,
town hall. Now, if you swapped it, then that could very well be. But this is not, in my remembrance, what the town hall voted for. They voted for option 3, but they did not vote to go behind the residence.
oh,
Just
yeah,
my recollection.
okay. I remember it was this option.
This is the same
Yeah.
presentation.
Yeah,
That one,
yeah,
That's the table. My table voted for this option.
right, exactly.
as well as
Yeah,
mine.
I think so. Okay, good. I think we've got it clarified. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Prophet. Moving then to agenda item number 5.2. Ms. Bosley, if you'll please read this ordinance.
An ordinance of the City of Leon Valley, Texas, City Council authorizing the acceptance of the lowest responsive bid, authorizing the execution of an agreement in the amount of $278,400 with 15% for contingency with NG Painting LP for the purpose of constructing the Grass Hill ground storage tank painting and rehabilitation, providing for providing for repealer, severability, and savings clauses, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you, Ms. Bosley. Good evening and welcome, Mr.
Attorney
Demeline.
Counsel,
Appreciate you being here.
thank you. The purpose of this item is to accept a bid and authorize the city manager to enter into a contract with NG Painting in the amount of $278,400 with a 15% contingency to rehab our Grass Hill ground storage tank. The Grass Hill ground storage tank was constructed in 1977. It is a 750,000-gallon potable water tank. The tank was rehabbed over 20 years ago, and we had it inspected last April by HOT Inspection Services. Their report concluded that an exterior and interior rehab would add another 18 to 20 years of life. The scope of work on the exterior would include cleaning and painting with an overcoat system. Interior work will include cleaning, painting with a 2-coat epoxy system, grinding and corrosion repairs that would be necessary inside, replacing the roof vent and access ladders, both exterior and interior, and replacing, of course, the caulking and hardware. We had a bid opening on January the 15th. We had a total of 9 companies submit bids. They were Mohan Blasting and Coatings, NG Painting, Travis Industries, Tankes Coatings, Viking Painting, MK Painting, Pittsburgh Tank and Tower, D&M Tank, and C-Tex. Our city engineer helped us review the bids, and they recommend awarding the contract to the second lowest and more qualified bidder, NG Painting. D&M Tank and C-Tex did not acknowledge our addendum number 1 as part of the bid process. Mohan Blasting and Coating submitted the lowest bid. However, they have only been in business for 3 years, and they did not provide references on similar sized projects. Some background on NG Painting. They've performed over 50 tank projects over the past 5 years, and they are familiar with the Tanemic product that we specified in this project. NG Painting's bid is below the engineer's estimate of $296,618. Under fiscal impact, engineering is at $54,820. The bid is at $278,400 for a total of $333,220. We do have a bond fund balance of $362,014. Funds for this project were included in this year's enterprise fund budget, utilizing these remaining bond funds, and that's from our 2016 municipal water supply project. So the recommendation would be to approve an ordinance awarding the bid and authorizing our city manager to enter into a contract with NG Painting, and that amount, I apologize, it's actually $278,400. There's a typo there, with contingency for the rehab project. Under our C statement, social equity, maintaining our water storage tanks helps us ensure that all citizens have fresh, safe drinking water at all times, which adds to the general quality of life for our citizens. Economic development, improved water infrastructure helps to ensure an efficient delivery of service, which may encourage relocation. And under environmental stewardship, regular maintenance of our potable water tanks helps us maintain our distribution system and reduces the amount of water loss that could occur during main breaks. And with that, Mayor and Council, I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thank you very much. Do appreciate it. Yes, I'll let Councilor Alcacer please begin the questioning.
I was wondering what the Tanemic products were. What does that mean?
It's a type of paint it's a urethane type of paint that works really well on water tanks. And so it was specified, we actually had 2 bid alternates, a bid alternate 1 and a 2. And so the engineer recommends that we use bid alternate number 2. And basically it's using the Tanemic product, which is the difference between the two is bid alternate number 2 is called a 135 Chem Build with a urethane finish coating as specified. So that's kind of a description of the Tanemic products, but they're pretty popular in the industry for using on water tanks.
And I had previously requested that we try to do something a little more colorful. Did that get into the bid process?
Well, we actually typically ground storage tanks, they can be any color. Typically, they're a white or a cream color, and the elevated tanks are like a sky blue. But what we could do is we were really interested in trying to get the project done before the higher demand months. And so I think, the tank will be down for about 60 days. And so we were hoping to get started pretty soon. And we could, I don't know if, we could work with the mayor and the council on, say, a logo or any ideas that you may have for a future mural or something of that nature. We should have some money left over after this project, and if that's the direction, we could definitely look into that. We would have basically the base, the interior and the exterior would be finished, and then we could come back and add something to the exterior.
It's just, we do a lot of road travel around the country, and
Yes, ma'am.
the ones that stand out have been, they kind of zing at you, either with a logo or with colors or with something that just makes it a little bit, where there's a little bit more attention to it. Ours is a little bit dull. The logo is.
That's
I'm
the
sorry, Melinda.
that's the old logo.
Right.
Yeah, Leon Valley, the old logo. So that was my question. Are we going to replace it with a new one?
This is the ground storage tank. This is
Not
not
the
the
elevated.
Not the upper one?
Okay.
So you really won't, it's
Oh, you
not
won't
gonna
see
make
it.
that big of an
Oh,
effect.
Oh,
on the
okay,
ground.
never mind.
Right, never mind.
Yeah, that's right. I thought it was the elevated one
Yeah,
too.
I thought it was
Okay.
too.
All right. Very good. Thank you. Counselor Jordan and then Counselor Martinez.
How many ground storage tanks do we have in Leon Valley?
Yes, sir. We have one ground storage tank, and we have 3 elevated storage
Okay.
tanks.
Okay, so when the one ground storage tank is down for rehabilitation, it's pumped directly from the plant to the elevated?
Yes, that's an excellent question. We have the ability to pump directly into our distribution system while the tank is out of service. So that's how we'll be operating over, say, 45 to 60 days.
Okay, and once the project's done and it's refilled with water, you have to certain testing and all that before it's brought back online and
Yes, sir.
released back into the water system?
Yes, it actually does. We do go through a process of, before the tank is put back into service, we do sample that, and it has to pass all of the, per TCEQ, the required tests. So we would be sampling that before we put it back into service.
Okay,
Yes,
thank
sir.
you. Thank you.
Yeah, Mr. Martinez. Counselor Martinez.
The bids, there's a primary bid and then alternate 1 and 2. So is it the primary bid plus 1 or the primary bid plus 2?
Yes, sir. It's the base bid plus
Either one.
one alternate, either 1 or 2. Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Counselor Martinez. Counselor.
And I just wanted to make one more comment. I really appreciated the extra detail from the engineering firm, and even more so Melinda's letter. It was one of the most professional that I've ever seen in response to the company who did not win, and that I appreciated very much. I think it was a good representation for our city. Thank you. And I move that we approve it as requested.
Excuse me, I just had one more question. When the storage is being rehabilitated and the water's going up to the elevated, is it going to affect the pressure at all in any of the homes?
No, Mayor. We'll be able to maintain our existing
Okay.
pressures.
I'm trying to anticipate a problem possibly. So, okay. Any other questions on this side of the dais? Okay.
I'll second
I
the
take
motion.
it back because it's a first read.
It's a first read, right, so we can't vote on it. That's exactly right. So, thank you. Do appreciate it. And I did notice that this company is in Kerrville, so right up the street. So, all right, moving then to agenda item number 5.3, our first read. Ms. Busley, if you'll please read that ordinance.
An ordinance of the City of Leon Valley, Texas City Council authorizing the acceptance of a 2018-2019 solid waste grant from the Alamo Area Council of Government in the amount of $19,149, authorizing the amendment to the general fund budget for fiscal year 2018-2019 in the amount of $24,565 to provide proper funding for the general fund, providing for repealer, severability and savings clauses, and providing for an effective date.
Thank you. Welcome back, Mr. Demeline. Thank you. If you'll please continue.
Thank you. This item would authorize our city manager to accept a solid waste grant from ACOG in the amount of $19,149 and we would request approval of a budget adjustment in the amount of $24,565. The recycling stations, the city was awarded the grant to basically purchase 7 recycling stations with signage, and those will go in our city parks and at both city pools. And so a total of 7, we would have 2 in the Rimkus Park, 1 in each of our other parks, and then 1 at each pool. The stations will help increase recyclable collections and divert waste from our landfills. The new stations will include separate bins for recycling and garbage. Public Works will maintain the stations as part of our regular park maintenance, and similar bins are used in the Boston Metro transportation system and Yankee Stadium as well. This is a picture of a station that's used in the Boston system. And so we would, it would be similar to this with the city's logo, of course.
That looks like a TV screen up there, is it?
It's actually like a poster.
It's a
so
poster.
Those are interchangeable.
Okay.
So we can really get creative on
I mean,
on our
could we put
graphics.
city events there and, you know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying, advertise that way?
We sure could, yes,
Great.
Mayor.
Thank you. I couldn't figure that out. I kept thinking, is that a TV? I mean, it's amazing. You can go up to a gas station now and there's a little TV. I don't know which, that's talking to you. And I'm like, man, we can't get away from the video and audio these days. But anyway, excuse me, I didn't mean to interrupt.
So that's kind of a model of what the
Very
unit
good.
would look like. The fiscal impact, as I mentioned, the grant amount is $19,149. Our match is $5,416 for a total of $24,565. We would request a budget adjustment in that amount from our general fund reserve to the Public Works General Fund, and then ACOG will reimburse the city in the grant amount of $19,149 at the completion. We recommend that the City Council approve this ordinance authorizing the City Manager to accept the 2018-2019 solid waste grant and authorize a budget adjustment.
Very good.
Under our goals, number 5, environmental sustainability. The project will support environmental efforts by increasing recycling and diverting waste from area landfills. And for our C statement, social equity, the recycling stations add to the general quality of life for all citizens. Environmental stewardship, and actually those should be flipped, I apologize. The grant project will assist with increasing our recycling, helping us divert waste from our landfills. And under economic development, keeping our city parks and pools clean of debris enhances the city's overall appearance, which assists in attracting new residents and businesses. With that, I would be happy to answer any questions.
Mr. Demeline, where do you anticipate putting the 2 recycling stations in Raymond Rimkus Park? Because I think you've got one relatively new one by the ball field.
Yes, Mayor.
Right.
We would probably work closely with our park commission.
Okay.
And with you all as far as the locations. With the pools, we pretty much have an idea.
And the
But
smaller
within
parks.
Rimkus Park, we want to be sure that we put one on each kind of end of the park.
Right.
And make sure that we can maximize the usage of those.
Yes, and hope people don't contaminate, that they keep it clean.
Yes, we will definitely be monitoring that, and this is really going to help us separate those, because beforehand, everything was just going into one station. So we're excited about the opportunity to separate the recycling from the garbage. So we look forward to really getting some good
That'll
use
be
out
good.
of these.
Thank you. Yes, any other questions?
Just
Yes,
a
Councilman
comment.
Alcazar.
I like that we're going big time, but I wish we had used something like the Astro Stadium or I think the Spurs even have it at down at the, where the Spurs plays, which AT&T Center. But anyway, I like that we're going big time, just not Boston and the Yankees, so.
I understand, I understand.
Okay, very good. Anything else? All right, this is the first read, so I believe both agenda item number 5.2 and 5.3 will be on for second reads tomorrow night. So we can do that. All righty, thank you so much for your presentations. We greatly appreciate it. We move then to agenda item number 6, citizens to be heard. Anyone remaining in our chambers that would like to address the council, please come forward. Okay. Seeing no one, then we will move to adjourn without objection at approximately 8:43 on Monday, February 4th.
Just in
Good
time-
evening, and we'll see you tomorrow night at 6 p.m. for our regular city council meeting.
Just in time for the Spurs game.
Just in time for the Spurs then. Yep, they sure are on their road trip.
No, no.
Good job, y'all knocked 45 minutes off.